2024 BFL season recap here on this episode of Co-Angler's Corner. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frugal Muse Studios for this new episode of Co-Angler's Corner, brought to you by Olsen Home Theater. I'm Russell Olsen. Today on the show, again, I'm going to be recapping the 2024 Great Lakes Division BFL season. To start out, it had definitely had its ups and downs. Kind of start with the first tournament. Unfortunately, my boater had one particular spot where he was catching fish, and I placed a fish, but I feel like there wasn't any reason to fish there. I had one bite near the end of the tournament, but when we finally moved on and worked some more area, yeah, situations like that, it can be tough. I don't like to say someone backboated me, but you know, when you're fishing and there's no reason, the area you have, there's no reason for the fish to be there. So yeah, but that type of thing happens. I know the guy I was fishing with that day had forward-facing sonar. And that's another, topic I'll get into, and I think I'm going to have a follow-up episode about that. Not only talking about how it affects co-anglers and some of the rules. Each of the big sanctioning bodies have a little bit different rule. Like I think it was Wisco Bass that banned it all together. The next tournament was my birthday weekend. That was probably my best weekend. I had a really cool partner. His boat's it's a pretty nice boat for his age. Its age. He told me how much he paid for it, and he got a good deal. So hopefully within the next few years, I got to take care of getting a new truck here soon. But hopefully after that, I'll be able to find a decent boat that meets BFL minimums, and I can get out there and pre-fish and do the things I really need to do that I just really can't as a co. But caught some good fish that day. I had a lot of fun. My wife and my best friend Lobster, is really name's Jim, but everybody calls him Lobster, and his wife were all out there cheer me on. I actually included that in one of my videos earlier this season. That was a lot of fun. A really good experience. Next tournament, Winneconne. We went way up north. I mean, just yeah. I'm sorry. I know there's fish in the Wolf, but I just feel like if you want to win, you go to Bago and get those big smallies down there. Yes, tournaments have been won up there, but I feel like you're more apt to catch big smallies. I mean, I'm talking 4 or 5 pound smallmouth, maybe even more in Bago. That's just my opinion. Again, when I get my own boat, I'll probably learn both. But yeah, it was a pretty tough day on that one. The next one, next Prairie du Chien tournament. Yeah, I mean, I had all the opportunities in the world. That one was 100% my fault. I couldn't get a fish to stay on a hook on, and yeah, I was using two types of frogs. My river sea fat mat daddies I like so much, and then a kicker frog that you kind of work back straight a little bit more like a kind of like more like a buzz bait. It kicks up, and that's a single hook. I usually do not have trouble keeping fish on those single hook, kind of Texas rig kicker frogs. I just don't have that problem. Yeah, that day was 100% my fault. I had every opportunity. I probably missed at least 12 to 15 pounds worth of bass that day. That was a hard pill to swallow. Then the final lacrosse tournament. I couldn't get either. It was not big enough size or the wrong species. I ended up having a huge northern on. But again, when you're in a bass tournament, that's not what you're looking for. Last cast of the day, I caught a 3-pounder on a swim jig off some wood, not very far at all from the takeoff. So days like that are very frustrating. I don't know. At least a couple of the tournaments, I think forward-facing sonar was playing a factor. Like I said, I really think I'm gonna do a whole episode dedicated to everything involving forward-facing sonar. Not only the new rules, but how it affects the co-angler. Maybe I can do a little research and hopefully learn a few things. Maybe I can share with you guys when I film that episode. So I mean, the season had its ups and downs. It was it was a fun year. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely a fun year. Learned a few things. I know I got to get better about setting hook on a frog, especially since we fish lacrosse 3 times a year on the BFLs. I have to check. I think next year's schedule is out, if I remember right. It's very similar to. I think they changed up the order a little bit, but I think it's very similar to the as far as places, very similar to what it's been the last handful of years. One thing I will say is I do wish the Great Lakes Division BFL would diversify that schedule a little bit. There's lots of places. Even if you got to go up north, there's lots of places, including Chippewa Flowage up north, that I think would definitely be able to hold a BFL. Just to diversify the schedule. The MLF and the Bass Pro Tour and Elite Series, they're not fishing same places multiple times a year. And Wisconsin's definitely got enough bigger lakes that can hold us. Like I said, Chippewa Flowage, Sturgeon Bay. I would love to get back to Sturgeon Bay up there. That place is awesome, especially when the jerkbait bite is on. Oh, I remember one year I was still fishing a club tournament, and we were up there one year right on Memorial Day weekend for a tournament. We had a whack fest. That was a lot of fun that day. That was most definitely a lot of fun. I definitely wish, again, a place like that obviously would hold a BFL. They had the Elite Series up there. And that was on little sturgeon, let alone big sturgeon. So there's definitely places they could go to diversify this schedule a little bit. I definitely think, they can bump out the lacrosse tournament, or one of them. We fish there 3 times a year right now. I think that maybe that second one they could bump out and then fish there in the spring, and then fish there for the super tournament. Or they could switch that up. maybe fish Sturgeon Bay the second tournament, because that's usually around mid-May. So those smallies up there ought to start to begin to turn on up there, or maybe fish a little bit later in May, or they could do an early June tournament up there. And I think that would be it would be a whack fest up there on them. That like I said, I've had some good memories from that place. First, Prairie du Chien. Yeah, it is a different pool, but it's still in the Mississippi River. I like the place. Don't get me wrong. I've had some good days up there, or down, yeah, up there. I just think that they could maybe skip that one. Winneconne, it's completely different altogether than the river, although it is on the Wolf, and like I said, guys run the Wolf. But that especially Bago, that place is a awesome fishery. I know the big Bass Pro Tour, Major League Fishing, have gone out there a few different times over the years. So I think that would be I think that could be a good place to go. I would love to see them go to like Green Lake. I know they've had TBF qualifiers there, zone tournaments there. Is it big enough to hold 100 boats? I mean, these BFLs could max out at I think they could max out at 200. But could they even hold the 90 to 100 boats we average in the Great Lakes Division BFL? That might be a little tight, but that's a shame because that place is a great fishery too. So, as far as tournament season, that's pretty much going to be it for me. I'll still be getting out fishing until it gets just too cold, and then be gearing up for next year. Maybe see if I can get a few more sponsors. Speaking of that, I would like to thank Frugal Muse for their support. They're a great bookstore. They got books, videos. They got a great selection of Blu-rays now. I think last time I was there, I think they had some 4K Blu-rays. I think so. Yeah, that's good. That's something I got to get you as a 4K Blu-ray player because last year we got a 4K TV for the house. But yeah, definitely check them out. Frugalmuse.com, or if you're in Madison, go to their store on the west side. Definitely check them out. If tell them you heard about them through Co-Angler's Corner. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to ask for Dave. He's one of the owners there. He's a really great guy. So until next time, for you guys still fishing tournaments or still fishing all together, see you next time and go get 'em.